What is going on, guys? Will Blandon. I am currently in New Britain, Connecticut. And I was just thinking about this whole situation where the Republicans and the Democrats and the president are not doing what needs to be done as far as getting us more stimulus, more grants. And I come with the conclusion that the only way out of this madness is you have to start your own business. For most of you who have been watching my channel for a while, I talk a lot about my holding company. This is my solution to not only getting more grants later, but to build you a safe business that cannot be, well, can be, but very unlikely to be sued. If managed properly, can shield you from marital disputes. Let's say you get married, but you build your holding company before you get married. It will shield you from those type of issues where your wife comes in and takes up your business just because she's married to you. But the key is you have to start your holding company before you get married. So the only way out of this situation is to start an active business. And I talk a lot about how I fund my holding company, driving for Uber and Lyft. I also work with a company called Ztegrity. They offer a nice shiny metal debit card that they dubbed Metal Card. I have links below this video for that. Because the only way out of this mess is to focus on building a side hustle, turning it either into a holding company or an active operating company. We cannot necessarily rely on the government, although I'm kind of hoping that they get their act together, because with this EIDL loan, not the loan, but the grant, they are promising that they will give us our full $10,000. They promised us. For those of you who do know about that grant, they only gave us $1,000 per employee when we were promised the full 10 grand. So I see the only way out of this is to really, we have to structure a side hustle. If you haven't already, and if you've been watching this channel, go watch my previous videos, and I give you examples of how to set up a side hustle other than just your job to fund a active business, so you can have the necessary funds so you could go on to do things like invest in real estate, become an actual investor, stuff to that nature. Because we cannot rely on necessarily the government to bail us out every time. And I have received stimulus, a grant, and a loan from the government, but even I realize that if it happens all again, it may be so further down the line, you know. I think Donald Trump's talking about, he's pushing it back towards to stop negotiations. Supposedly he's tweeted out some tweets about stop negotiations with the Democrats on any stimulus matters until after the election. So I don't know if that's true. This is just what I'm hearing. The news has even said it. You just can't rely on this government. You just can't. You have to get out. You got to start a side hustle. And you got to start working on your credit. And when I say your credit, not only do you need to start working on your personal credit, but you also need to start thinking about setting up a business with the intent of building corporate credit. And that's what I've done with my holding company. I will be working on an actual holding company course. If you are all interested in that, get on my email list. I do have listed below this video. and you'll be the first to be notified when I put that course out. Again, you cannot rely on this government to bail you out of every situation in this pandemic. We have to start thinking out of the box. I give examples on how to start a side hustle first, turn that later into either a active holding company or a operating company. The difference between the holding company and just a regular LLC, the holding company is the mother company that will form new and baby companies after it to help shield you from lawsuits in the future. Watch all my videos on the holding company and you'll get more insight of how that works. But basically, you start the holding company first. The holding company does not do business with anyone. The whole point of the holding company is just to hold assets and form and manage other small baby operating companies. And the holding company itself can be a company, but I suggest you make it something online, particularly something that isn't in harm's way, and then later form a operating company under your holding company to do that exact job or function. I'll give you an example. My active holding company, all it is basically my transportation company. I put my Uber and Lyft funds in there. Any funds that I make from the channel will go in my holding company as well. But in the soon to be near future, I'm going to set up a separate LLC for the sole purpose of a transportation company that's going to be owned by my holding company. So if anybody sues me, let's say I get in a car accident or anything like that, I want it structured so it's only going to affect that one transportation company and it's not going to flow up to my holding company. And if I see the lawsuit coming, I can actually move money from that operating company up to the holding company legally. You know, you want to do it several months in advance so they can't say you did it to avoid that lawsuit, but it's totally legal. You know, another example, let's say I partner with you or somebody else in the near future. I'm not going to partner with you in the name of my personal name. I'm going to partner with you in my Wyoming holding company, and I talk a lot about it on the channel. My holding company account is with Navy Federal. I have a lot of videos about Navy Federal on the channel, and I partner with you. You do something crazy. It was just for, you know, sake of this example. You do something crazy where it gets us in a lawsuit with that LLC. I have a holding company doing business with you, so it'd be hard for them to sue me. They're probably going to go after you more so because you are not properly structured to prevent these types of situations. This is why you need to do a holding company first. But I would start with the side hustle. You don't have to incorporate. You don't have to spend any of your money. Wait till your side hustle is making you a few $1,000s. Then go set up your actual holding company or operating company. If you already have a business, I would not restructure it into a holding company. I would just maintain that company, take some monies from that active company, and start setting up your holding company. And that holding company you could later sell from your main business some of those assets over to your holding company to prevent them from getting in harm's way, and not directly. Like, let's say you own a 3-family property. What you would do is set up a LLC under your holding company, owned by your holding company, to hold that property. Your active business would then sell that property over to that LLC that's strictly set up to hold that property. This is going to avoid a lot of lawsuits in the future. It's going to keep your investments out of harm's way. Let's say you have a large investment LLC and you have, say, Bitcoin, stuff like that. I would set up a LLC later for the sole purpose of holding your investments and sell or move those cryptocurrencies to that LLC, under that LLC, a wallet owned by that LLC, which is actually owned by your holding company. You want to have all your stuff out of harm's way, especially in this pandemic, just in case of lawsuits, just in case things go bad. You want to be shielded from any of the situations. I'm currently in a relationship, but I don't know if it's going to result in marriage. So what I'm doing is structuring myself in a way of everything that I do from this point on is owned by my holding company. And let's say we do decide to get married. I have a clause already in my articles that states that all officers of my company have to get a prenuptial agreement. So if this young lady or any future relationships I have, they decide they do want to get married, we will have a structured prenup set up to further shield my company from being in harm's way. And in the event that we do separate everything owned by my holding company, because I formed it before marriage, will be protected. This is very important going forward, especially if you are under 30, not married yet. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are going to be like, well, I'm already married and I'm kind of afraid or worried that things might go wrong. Well, first of all, if you're already thinking that and you're already married, you married the wrong person. But there is ways that you can legally shield yourself from future lawsuits simply by forming a new corporation and put in those articles that this cannot be any debts from a marital dispute or whatever, cannot be, let's say, paid off by this LLC. I don't want to give all the details, but put it this way, there's ways that even if you're married now, it's kind of morally wrong, but there's some tricks you could do to move some assets where it won't show up that you actually own those assets. So your wife, in the event you do get a divorce, she can't come after those assets. But the law is going to tell you anything you make after marriage, she's entitled to a percentage. So if you go ask any regular lawyer or CPA, they're just going to tell you can't be done. But a crafty real estate attorney can find you ways by way of land trusts and LLCs to move your assets. But let's play it safe. Do this stuff before you get married, guys. Start setting up your future before you get married. Even women. Some of you women, you're bringing home a lot more money than your future husband. Just set this stuff up before you get married. It makes it so simple. You don't feel like you're breaking the law, you know. And I don't pretend to be a lawyer or CPA. I'm just taking this knowledge from actual real estate lawyers, CPAs, attorneys, and putting it on my channel for entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer, I am not a financial professional. I'm just simply a normal person like you who became a business consultant for the sole purpose that I didn't have somebody like me to just be there and just give me this knowledge when I needed it years ago. So I'm just trying to give you this in the form of entertainment on my channel to warn you guys, man or women, before you get married, set this stuff up. If you have a side hustle, start incorporating. Start setting this stuff up. So you want to believe your marriage is going to work out. You want to believe the future is bright and everything is beautiful, but that's not reality usually. Start protecting yourself by way of building a ironclad holding company that's going to protect you in the future from lawsuits, marital disputes, gold diggers that might be trying to access your funds, and set it up in a way of you have somebody that if something happens to you, you have someone like I do. I have a very responsible daughter that one day I will set up a living trust to own all this. The living trust will eventually own and hold the holding company assets. So all my daughter has to do, all the businesses will be active and functioning on their own, pretty much. Where all she may have to do is maybe sign her name to things and make sure employees are intact to maintain the businesses. That's the legacy I'm trying to build for me and my family. You have to decide how you want to build yours. And I'm here to help. But I notice with a lot of you guys, you think that out of the goodness of my heart, I should just help you structure your business for free. And that's not reality. There will be a fee involved. I find that I have to tell people that because I've had several people, after meeting me in my car as a Uber or Lyft passenger, will call me or email me, Will, can you help me out? And they expect it to be free. There's gonna be a fee, people. You gotta be realistic. You gotta pay me something for my time. You know, I'm not out here to be an angel to you and just give you one-on-one coaching for free. So expect some type of fee to be involved. That fee may not be even in the way of monies. If you have a great enough idea, I may partner with you for absolutely free, but I may want some equity in your company. That's a possibility. We'd have to sit down, discuss it, and figure out how we can go forward, either as partners, or you may know that your business is going to be worth millions. And you just be like, well, I'm just going to pay you out a flat fee for you to help me set some stuff up. And that's fine too. So I'm open to partnerships, working with you guys, but just don't expect it to be a deal where I just give you my time for free. You know, out of respect for me, you know, you gotta be willing to work out some financial arrangement if you want some one-on-one coaching. I am in the Connecticut area. If you're willing to come to Connecticut, we can possibly sit down, even though it's COVID, in a safe environment and discuss some things. But again, my time is not free. You know, I hope you understand that. I do have an email listed below this video. If you need to get in contact with me, you have questions about Zetegrity, I have a link for Oxygen Bank also below. You will get $25 when you open your Oxygen Bank account, and other links below. So I appreciate everybody to help me get to 1,000 subscribers. It may not seem like a lot to most of you guys, but I appreciate the journey that I've gotten to so far, so thank you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, click the bell icon so you get updated for more videos about holding companies, corporate credit, business credit, setting up side hustles. Very important. Start with a side hustle. Keep your job until you are absolutely ready, until your job is causing you to lose money. I would say keep your job. And again, I thank you for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.